Here's the thing. I just watched The Lorax, which was a very bad movie. And within the movie, within the singular title, there's a character who grows old and is like, "Ah, I can't do anything anymore." Like, I just think that's such a trope already that just writers who are a bunch of nepo babies in their 20s and 30s just don't know what old people are like. And so they just have to write them in this like, like I'm
Okay,
old.
but what about
Like
the
what else
ones
did
that
like I think it's
are
just a lack of
successful?
creativity.
What about the ones that don't choose
Which
that
ones that are
direction and the ones
successful?
that people like? So we could go with like Logan would be one, right? That film's a deconstruction of Wolverine, but people really like it, and it
Yeah,
doesn't.
he's old.
Yeah, I'm saying
And
people
again,
liked
it's
it.
like the obvious.
Like,
Yeah,
What do you
but I'm
mean?
saying that the direction for the character to go and the types of ideas that they at least feel compelled to bring up as part of the themes of the character
oh,
is
okay,
just
no.
the most
So I'm
obvious
not.
shit. They're like, "Oh, the actor's old,
I
the
thought this was
character's
a
old, so
given.
we
I'm
gotta."
I'm saying that throughout Logan, he's not like pathetic. He's not being told by all of the characters that he's worthless, sort of thing, and he doesn't want to like give up on people or whatever. The
I
deconstruction is
think
what
I
does
think that
Wolverine
we
represent?
I think that we hold different values in terms of the social standings or how beloved characters are treated because I don't see those things as too different personally because I don't really feel generally like attached to any of those characters in like a nostalgic way. But like, even I'm trying to think of a good example of something where I could feel that same way.
Spies guessing games. I quiver with fear. Long live the king.
He has a way of playing with the words and twisting them, and it is all interesting. Every line that Jeremy would give me was interesting.
I felt that
I'm just thinking about how different my life would be if someone else played Scar or if they like went with other like ideas. Would I even be into the character? I don't even know. I just
But, like, you could
I'll have to
imagine
think
what it
about
would
it.
be to not want to see these
Well, I mean,
characters constantly
you mentioned
disrespected, right?
Glass, like that is
I
close to it, right? I assume.
Well, yeah, it's like entirely unceremonious, but
Yeah.
I don't know I can't watch that and think that they're trying to make me feel disrespected by doing that. I watch that and think, "Wow, M. Night's fucking stupid."
Yeah, no,
Like
but
that's my
I
takeaway
Or
is not like
what he did to those two characters
the
is so
narrative of like
beyond fucked up,
intent.
and I completely agree with you. And that if it were like if M Night had quotes related to, well, I wanted to do it to show people that the characters are blah blah blah, like these things are going to play into it as well, right? Like what the creators have
Mhm.
to say about these sorts of things, what ideas they're trying to represent. This whole era of it, there are legacy characters that do return as anomalies that are treated well. Logan was one I was trying to bring up, that people felt like Logan was respected in that film, but like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. They could have brought him in as a depressed,
Yeah.
disheveled, sad Peter Parker who's lost the will to live, but they
Yeah,
didn't. They made
but
him the mentor.
here here's what I was trying to say earlier. I feel like even if they did do that with Peter Parker Spider-Man, which I love, I wouldn't feel like personally slighted by that in any way.
It would depend for me on
And I didn't
execution.
feel I didn't feel that way in Glass either. I just felt like, wow, this is bad writing, right? I didn't feel like I feel like a lot of people very much kind of attach their identities to these characters in ways.
I
And I
felt
feel
that
I'm just thinking about how different my life would be if someone else played Scar or if they like went with other like ideas. Would I even be into the character? I don't even know. That's an interesting sentence. I feel like it can feel like to a lot of people that their experience is being like diminished by having these characters um, being less respected in a piece of media. Whereas like I'm so detached from these characters, like even characters that I love, like
I felt that
I'm just thinking about how different my life would be if someone else played Scar or if they like went with other like ideas, you know? Would I even be into the character? I don't even know. I feel like this might be pointing towards like more of like a generational sort of like parasocial experience with media, right?
I feel like it's perfectly
Does that make
reasonable
sense?
to be upset when characters that inspired you would like shat on. I wouldn't call it. I don't think I describe it as parasocial compared to like any mentor in life.
I get what you're saying. I don't hold that much of an emotional stake in even my favorite characters being shat on in later incantations of media or anything. Like I've said this a million times. People can talk about my favorite movies of all time and say that they're shit. I don't care, right? Like it doesn't really matter. Like I care about my own experience with it. Um, but yeah, I think that I think we're kind of getting at this here is that I think there's a lot of people that relate so closely to these characters and hold them in such a special place in their heart. And I'm not trying to say this in an insulting way, but just in a way where I'm trying to understand the perspective here. I think that there's a lot of people that hold these characters to such an important place in their heart that they feel slighted by how they're represented in media, which is interesting to me because I personally just don't feel that way. But now I feel like I'm understanding more about these people anyway.
Okay.
You know what's funny is like sometimes I make fun of other people for getting like this upset about movies. I'm like, what? You're acting like it's like a part of your identity. But The Lion King is a part of my identity. You know? It's literally a life-defining film for me. I think that explains why I'm so upset. It did kind of influence my life in major ways and so I don't know if anyone I don't know how many people that get mad about Star Wars can say that about Star Wars, but I can definitely say that about The Lion King. It is kind of a part of my identity, I say as I wear my Scar shirt. Right. I'm just saying what he said was dumb and that he might also agree it was dumb and it's also a normal human thing to try and pretend like what you said was not actually what you said. And that doesn't mean you're a bad person. But you know, I would say that's just most people that's a thing that people do. So who knows? I could be over psychoanalyzing. I don't know, but that's part of how I feel, I guess.